Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a mukbang. So while we got some pizza, we're gonna be talking about like how our wedding went, expectations versus realities. So yeah, we're gonna get into the video. Oh well, I'm hungry. We like reserved the rooms so we could take getting ready pictures and all of that stuff. And I booked that hotel because I really wanted Tyson in the pictures of like him being present on our wedding day. And they were like, oh yeah, we accept pets. So as I'm checking in, I'm like, Tyson's like in the car waiting. Like I brought him his little comida and everything. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, like you guys are pet friendly, right? Dumb of me to ask because they're like, oh yeah, definitely pet friendly, but it's an extra $75. I was like,
nothing.
We already paid a lot of money for the hotel rooms because we got like suites, so it could be big enough for the whole like wedding party. And so I was like, okay, Tyson, you're axed. So that kind of sucked. So that was like one thing that I really wanted and it didn't happen.
My groomsmen started showing up. I didn't have any like drinks or anything in my hotel because I slept by myself, obviously. So we had a coordinator, and we asked her if she could go get us some tequila, and she just literally said,
listened
no,
to
thank
me.
you. I'm not getting you.
She
guys
listened
nothing.
to me. She literally came to the room. It's so funny. She came to the room and she's like, hey, Gabby, like your brother just gave me some money to go and get a bottle. Like, should I do that? How much priority is that? And like, she did such a great job, like with the day, but she's not a drinker, right? So she didn't really prioritize like, hey, taking shots and stuff. My cousin brought like champagne bottles so we could do for pictures and like pouring and stuff. But the guys, they don't think, and I let Edgar control everything with the groomsmen. And so like last minute, like it was like super awkward or whatever. And my brother's like, hey, go buy a bottle. And she like didn't see it as priority. So she was like, don't really care about that. Gabby's having a crisis because my mom wasn't there on time. My cousin got to the hotel room and I literally said, be here at this time ready. Like, you don't even have to change or anything, ready. She got there with her dress. She didn't get it altered. So it was super long. And she had to iron the dress there. And I was like, oh my God. Like, the videographer and the photographer were there. Like, they were super nice.
I didn't get pictures at the hotel. I only got them at the church. And I was supposed to get like...
You got pictures at the hotel?
No, I didn't.
When you're like getting them ready?
No, that's video. You notice that? I didn't get any of them getting ready. I didn't get any pictures at the hotel. I only got pictures at the church. We didn't really get any getting ready pictures. We got video. Well, you didn't notice it, but now that I'm pointing it out, you
Yeah.
did. I didn't notice it either, so no.
Anyways, so my cousin has to iron her dress, and then we're like doing getting ready shots, and it's getting later and later. And my mom's not there. She was supposed to be there in the pictures. My sister was supposed to be there in the pictures, and they weren't there. I literally FaceTimed my mom. The church started at 1. It was like...
I was already at the church, I think. And she's like, my mom's not here yet. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm already at the church.
It was like 12:30. The church is like 15 minutes away from where we were. FaceTiming my mom. And she's like, hey, like she's doing my eyebrows right now. I'm on my way. Okay. From the hotel to where we were living was like 12 minutes away from the hotel. So she had to get to the hotel. That already, and I'm like really precise with time. So that already was like, what, 12:42. To get from the hotel to the church is like 15 minutes. So I was like, oh my God, like I'm gonna be late. So I'm like sitting there waiting. And of course I want like footage and pictures with my mom of like her putting on my veil and stuff like that. And she was late. So therefore that made me late. And I didn't show up until 1:30. It was ridiculous. And I was like,
so she was late, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everything was piled on me. The father was like, hey, where's your wife? Like, we need to get this going. Everybody's like, hey, where's Gabby? Like, and I'm like, I don't, like, at this point, I was so stressed out that.
And it literally wasn't our fault. It was my mom's.
Yeah, and everybody was like, hey, where's Gabby? Where's this? Where's that? And I was like, I don't know. There's a coordinator over there. Go talk to her. Because I was just done with it. I was taking pictures, and then they were calling me to go, like, set up some things. she had a good time. She was just getting ready. Not stressed at all.
No, I was stressed. I was pissed because I had been planning this day for more than a year. And the fact that I was late because of my mom. So anyways, we get to the church. And then everything's good to go. I show up, but his sister made it a point to tell the priest that I had to confess. So we're already late. And she did such a good job of convincing the priest that I still had to confess that he literally made me confess before I went into the church. That I was like already pissed at my mom because I was late. And then I had to be even more late because his sister insisted to the priest that I confess. Even more mad. My wedding coordinator, she was really good at like trying to do stuff my way, right? The bride's way, the couple's way. But family, they feel like they know what's going on. They know more than she does because she has no idea. So as we're like going into the church, the coordinator has everyone in line exactly how I wanted it, the order I wanted and everything. And his sister was like, okay, no, that's not how you do it. You have all the girls and all the boys. And to me, I was like, this is not a quinceañera, this is a wedding, and this is how I wanted it. And so instead of it just being the bridal party, it was his sister and his brother-in-law at the end. And then it was like my mom, it was just a mess. So like, it was insane. All of that planning and everyone just threw it off. So at that point I was like, fudge it, you know, like whatever. So like I'm walking down the aisle and you picture your husband like looking at you, or your fiance or whatever, looking at you as you're walking down the aisle. No. The priest had Edgar kneeling in front looking at God. And I don't know if that's like the Catholic religion or what, but I had expected my husband to be looking at me. So I'm like, okay, so there already goes that. I was really, really excited for him to see the dress. He didn't see it. I don't even know when did you get a full look at the dress? Was it at the reception or at the hotel?
At the hotel. When we went back and relaxed for a little bit, like for an hour, and then we're like she said, I was facing the cross instead of her. I think that's what they do. I wasn't even sure. And then the father asked me if I could speak in front of everybody, and I'm like, yeah, I guess.
Not in the plans either.
I didn't know I was gonna speak, and he was like, yeah, it looks good. It looks like you're speaking to your wife, and it's like words of affirmation, kind of. I had to talk, so it wasn't too bad. And then we did all the church stuff. Another thing first, my groomsmen suits were not what we expected. We thought they were like fitted suits. It turns out they were like a little bit on the legs. They were kind of baggy. I don't know what happened, like, but with the pants that they gave them, they look short. They all look short and yeah, I don't think it was the right pants, but I mean, it didn't look bad, but it wasn't what I wanted. Exactly.
What we looked for and what we had discussed in the fitting.
So then, the start of.
Then we go back to the hotel and we're like, oh my God, this was a disaster.
Like,
this was wrong. And then we gave ourselves like an hour window. That was not long enough. So then my brother calls me. He's like, hey, you guys need to go to the venue. I'm like, nah, like we're not supposed to be there. Like we're getting there late. He's like, people are going to be getting there and you need to be there to receive them. I was like, no, I don't know why I listened to him. Like he's never had a wedding anyways. So as soon as we show up, there's already people there. And I was like, oh my God.
Our menu, we printed out a thing of how things were going to go. So we were going to, a timeline. So we were going to eat at this time, dance, do like a couple of traditions, and end it with like a sparkler send-off. So our food was supposed to be carnitas.
We
told her. And
I printed it out on a timeline. It was so beautiful.
So we get there and she goes to the back to get like fix some stuff on her dress. And I'm like in the salon just greeting people and dealing with this and dealing with that. First of all was the food. The food was wrong. The food that they gave out was chicken, pollo and chipotle with rice and beans and tortillas, and it was not
pasta.
Oh yeah, and pasta. So it
No,
was
we
kind of
did
a
not
weird
want pasta.
combination. It didn't taste bad, but it was just not what we wanted and not what we expected. Okay, so there was that. And that stressed us out like a ton. Like if you dealt with your wedding, you know that like the food is like a big major part of it. And if it's like, imagine just getting to your venue and it's not even the right food.
Especially because obviously family's trying to be very helpful, right? To take the load off of us. But all they do, and like, I'm not saying like his family or my family, I think just family in general, at any wedding will tell you, hey, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. So fix it. Or like, this is wrong, you guys need to get your money back or whatever. So problem after problem after problem, someone was finding us and saying, hey, this is wrong. Hey, the power's not working. Hey, the band's this. Hey, there's no toilet paper. Like, we're sitting there trying to enjoy our wedding and
But
we
this is
literally
the
can't.
the whole day.
Yeah.
So, but at this point, I had to take what I could get. The next thing was like we needed ice, I guess, and I know like we had bought some, but we didn't buy enough.
So my brother and dad had to go buy, my brother, dad, and grandpa, or my brother and dad, had to go buy 70 bags of ice.
Which was a lot. We had servers, right?
The venue coordinator, or whatever she was, the owner, she said, we're going to hire servers. You need 3 of them for how many people you have. And they're going to be going around putting plates of food on the table when people are getting there.
So we paid for that.
Perfect. We paid for it.
We were like, okay, that's fine.
The wedding, the food is set up like a buffet. Like you go and you...
You go and you serve yourself, and we're like, okay. Like,
it's so bad. I
was-
hated that look.
yeah, it was, but what could you do? Like I said, it was not what we planned.
Oh.
Jesus.
Scary.
We
So
wanted it
another
to be
thing that
served.
went wrong.
Yeah, I had to serve people. My sister was serving people. I think my mom was serving people. Like all of our family was like serving people, and it's great that they helped out because I couldn't have done it, and the staff that they hired supposedly wasn't gonna do it, so our family had to do it,
I
and
jumped in.
I'm glad that they did.
Yeah, because Edgar and I alone could not handle it.
So the night gets started.
The vibes start to get going. People start to drink and all of that stuff.
We were planning on doing like some certain like traditions, like the toss up of me, and then the snake, a couple other things. I can't remember exactly what, but we had some things planned, and literally
Like on schedule, right? The coordinator was like, hey, this needs to happen. Hey, this needs to happen. She was great at like making sure stuff was progressing how I wanted. So then it comes part for the brindis, which we never even did the brindis because of how the night just seemed to go so fast. Like there was not enough time to do it all.
Yeah. So the way we wanted to recognize the padrinos was we wanted to announce their names and stuff. We had like a picture of all the padrinos and their names and what they were padrinos for. So we wanted the DJ to be like announcing them, and traditionally they come and dance with you when they're announced.
One couple at a time.
One couple at a time, right? So somehow it turns into a damn ballroom dance where everybody is just in the middle of the dance
The
floor, just
DJ starts
dancing.
reading off all of their names. And so everyone's
this,
looking around
right
like-
after the other,
Everyone's looking around like, what? So then they all start coming and then they all start dancing. Oh my
like
God.
with their spouses or with their partner of padrinos and stuff. And we just kind of like switched around. Like,
It was so bad. It's not what I wanted.
no,
I
it
bet you
wasn't-
everyone looking was like, what the fuck?
It wasn't like a bad, it wasn't like terrible, but it was not what we wanted again. Like at that point, the night was already like, it wasn't ruined, but the night had not gone how we wanted it. So we were just improvising at that point.
Mm-hmm. So the band starts coming on. Looks so badass. They have fog machines and all this stuff. They played a couple, then all of a sudden, power goes out for them.
And
There was power everywhere else except for the stage.
And we were like, are you kidding me? Like this is
And then like, they did such a great job at not trying to make us panic.
Yeah.
They were trying and trying and trying
They
to
kept playing.
get it to work. They kept playing.
But they were playing like without their microphones and stuff, so you can't really hear it.
But you could.
You
but
could hear it. They're coming to me like, hey, the power went out. And I'm like, what can I do? You know, like time. So I'm like out here looking for the breaker box. And so I find it and I just started like flipping all the breakers and stuff. And I'm like, is it working now?
And
they
then
know.
as that's going on, my grandpa runs up to me and he's like, hey, there's no toilet paper in the bathroom. You need to call the venue person and tell them that you need toilet paper, and I'm like
And they were like, look, if we do the lights, then it's gonna flip the breaker. We're not even gonna be able to play. We're like, okay, let's go without the lights then. So then we get like the electricity thing figured out.
yeah. So then fast forward, me and Edgar are like, fudge it, like let's just drink, whatever. We'll take all the shots that we can because of all of this stuff going on.
I was having a good time. Like even all through all that, I was having a great time.
It was fun.
My wedding was my most enjoyable moment. It's just that it didn't happen the way exactly how I pictured it. But it was a great time.
Yeah, so the night is over and me and Edgar are drunk, right? I don't even know what we were thinking of how we were gonna get home. We just knew we were not driving. So his family starts picking up and I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, we have a crew to pick it up. And they're like, no, they said they're not gonna pick it up. And I was like, no, I hired them for this reason. So I go to the back and I'm like, hey, you guys are supposed to be the ones picking up. And they're like, oh, okay, but I think that they just didn't want to argue with the bride. So then they start picking up stuff and we pick up all of our candles, all of our vases, our greenery, and it's like, what?
I'm drunk.
Trying to pick up all of our stuff.
Because I didn't even expect to clean up. I was just gonna plan on going home.
Yeah,
like we didn't think about it because like all of our presents, all my family,
luckily,
like my nieces, my nephews, everybody stayed and they helped us out. So anyways.
They stayed and they helped, which was great.
And
they were able to drive us home.
And we figured out a way to get us home because she couldn't drive, I couldn't drive, and we had our car there.
Yeah, so luckily they gave us a ride home. That was basically all of the things that went wrong with the wedding. It was like some stuff that we didn't even think about, that we didn't plan for. So if you're planning your wedding, plan for stuff to go wrong.
Don't plan for it to go wrong. Just don't plan it to go to the T because it's not going to. Her aunt told us that from the beginning. She did. And we were like, no, there's no way.
I was like, I have a schedule.
She was like, look, Gabby, I know that you have everything planned. But nothing, I know, and that's what I was like, wow, I know what she means. Not
it's
everything,
not gonna go your way.
It's not gonna go how you want it, but it's still like, it's a beautiful experience because honestly, I had the best wedding that I could have hoped for. Of course, there are little things like different, like the food and stuff, but it seems so little now that at that time it was like
the biggest
thing, and now it's like the food was different. Now like everybody still ate. Yeah, but it's just.
And it was good. The food actually, luckily, was good. You know, everyone was like, "Oh, it's actually good," and no one was like, "Hey, your sign said carnitas, but then there's like pollo." You know, when everything was going wrong, like there was no need to feel like embarrassed because everyone was trying to figure out a way to help or to make it better. So that was the best thing about it.
We had a ton of alcohol, so that helped out a lot because.
A lot of things went wrong, but
just don't plan on it going the way you plan because it's not going to. I hope it does for you. If
you're lucky,
if you're lucky, but the reality is that things just don't really go to the T.
So that was the story of our wedding day.
Leave a comment of an experience that happened to you with your wedding or with something planned that didn't go the way you wanted it.
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know.
Thank you so much for all the support. Literally, anytime I get a new subscriber or like a comment or a view, I'm always like, oh my god, Edgar, look, I got another view or whatever. It's super exciting and like I enjoy doing this. Yeah, thank you for watching and continuing to watch. And thanks for joining us for dinner tonight. Thanks for watching.
See you guys
on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Restart.
One of the madrinas forgot the Bible, so we didn't end up getting it that day.
No, we did.
God damn it. We didn't end up getting it till later.
No.
We were supposed to get it at the church.
We did get it at the church.
One of the madrinas forgot the Bible, so she had to go back and get it. I don't know if she went home, I think. She left it at home.
No.
Where did she leave it?
At the hotel. In her car.